This is my YouTube response. I'm going to critique the 1998 film by Roger Ebert, Ma Vie en Rose, or My Life in Pink. This film really touched my heart because the experience that Ludovic had to endure as a 7-year-old was pretty difficult. I was thrilled at first to see Ludovic in his developmental stages expressing himself how he wanted. The entire film, I wanted him to feel comfortable in his skin, and he just identified as a girl. There was no malice, and he proved it through his innocence of him dancing, watching his television idol Pam and Ben, and just being happy. Like, the film had a real sense of happiness when Ludovic was happy. But that progressively changed as his family began to respond harsher to his expressions. I feel like most transgendered children will become introverts and repress their feelings due to society standards, but Ludovic was experiencing it even more at home. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love that the family attempted to let him express himself, but only when they assumed that he was just going through a phase or was, quotation mark, normal. You know, at one point it was the mom supporting him, and at one point it was the dad, but the entire time I was rooting for the grandmother. It was a relief to see that the grandmother was so free-spirited and accepting, just letting Ludovic be a kid. I love that this film is so lighthearted and has a comedy aspect to it for such a controversial topic, forcing people to comment and further discuss the issue, which is good because I feel like the issue needs more exposure. The problem, though, is that there isn't any real issues in the film except the negative mentality that society puts on something that is natural. Believe me, it was so upsetting to see how his family disowned him for some time, and just watching how his personality changed completely after being forced to act a certain way. I consider this film a children's film. It had a very airy, dream-like feel to it, with a lot of imagination, just like if you're inside a child's mind. It was his form of comfort and way to escape. It also shows how behind the white picket fences of a seemingly normal town, everyone had their own issues, but their competition to be superior or perfect made them forget what was important. So therefore, since the topic is controversial, I would at least rate the movie PG-13. But what I will not understand is the film's original rating of R. To me, it's ridiculous because there was no explicit sexuality, there was no gory scenes, there was nothing too explicit for it to be rated R. Maybe some mild language, but overall, I would recommend this film. The topic does need more exposure, and I also like how the different characters have different point of views about the situation, and I like how the director did that. So I would give the film 4 stars. I feel like people should go out and watch it, but it's not a movie that I would personally watch over and over again. It just gets the topic out there, gets people talking, so eventually it becomes the norm. So that's my review to my Ma Vie en Rose, and thank you for listening.